Good morning, Internet. Good morning.
Well, you're watching it in the morning. It's afternoon right now.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's not even morning here. It's 12.
Yeah.
It's noon. Hello, everybody. Good to see you again. Welcome back. We're in another part of our house. We're like 10 feet away from where we normally stand. We're standing for a video today because, as the title says, we are going to do, I refuse to call it a challenge. I ain't doing it. It ain't a challenge. This is not a challenge. We are answering the Jubilee interracial questions. You want to say something?
No.
Oh, you were like...
I'm just doing the... What's the word I'm looking for?
Are you mocking me?
No! I'm putting emphasis.
Oh, okay. Emphasis. So, context, the Jubilee video. Jubilee's a YouTube channel. They do a lot of different interviews with like random... I think it's just like random people that like... I don't know how they do it. But they do a lot of black people issues and racial issue questions and all that kind of stuff, but they recently released a video about interracial couples, so your boy gets to be involved for once. That's right, the kids still do that, right?
He's old.
Yeah, look, I'm a teacher, you gotta annoy kids with like out-of-date references. That's like, that's the entire job. So what we're gonna do, and because like my wife hasn't really watched the video either, so here's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna stand like this. We're gonna stand like this, right?
Are we standing like this?
Yeah. This is how it works. This is neutral ground. This is in the middle.
Is your head still in the frame?
Doesn't matter. You can see that I'm here. You don't have to do
let's
that.
arrange it. Your head is not in the frame.
No.
Okay, we fix the camera.
You don't need to bend. You don't. It doesn't matter.
Is in the frame
doesn't matter.
now. Okay.
We're not gonna stay here long. Okay, so we decided. So I'm gonna read a question, one of the questions, and if we agree, we're gonna step to the left towards our lovely toaster oven and my weird mint plant. So mint plant is left. If we disagree, we're gonna step towards my fern.
I'm acting like those people
Yeah,
at the
you're
airport.
like Vanna White. No, you're like Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune.
Those people at the airport that goes like this.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, so and then we talk about the question, right?
Yeah. We step first. Okay, so I got the microphone. Okay,
so let's. We stand like this. Okay, now
do what you're told. Do what you're told.
We're asking the first question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Question 1 is. Now don't step. We're gonna count down 3, 2, 1, and then. So remember, because one of us is gonna get this wrong.
Yeah.
Agree.
Disagree.
We're gonna get it wrong. I know it. Okay, number 1.
Okay.
I have unintentionally been racist towards my partner. 3, 2, 1, step. Want to go first?
I don't think I've been racist towards you.
Correct.
I don't think so.
Correct.
Intentionally, unintentionally, I don't think so.
You can't be racist towards white people. You can be prejudiced. You can't be racist. Racism's about power structures and like government and economics and shit. So
over to you. When have you been unintentionally racist towards me?
I don't know, but as a white person, it's bound to happen in the past. I have internalized white supremacy that I've had to unlearn for the last decade. I'm sure it's happened in some small way. I don't think I have ever done anything like egregiously racist, because I don't think you would tolerate it and we wouldn't be together, nor would I want to be with a different person or a person of a different race if I was like horrendously racist. But I'm sure like in a microaggression way it's happened.
Personally, I cannot think of a moment where you have been
thank God
racist or like intentionally or unintentionally, but
oh no,
I can't think of I'm gonna say
good.
But if you think there might be a situation or a time where it might have happened, and I'm not gonna what's the word I'm looking for, say I don't know you or not, but personally I cannot think of any moment where you have been.
I just think at some point, sometime, I'm sure there's been a moment where if somebody had heard something I said or seen what I did, they would go, right? I don't think it's that deep. But let's put a twist on this question now.
Okay. Should we stay where we are?
Yeah, no, we're gonna step back in the middle. Step back in the middle.
Back to
so
neutral?
I want to twist this question around.
Okay.
And say kind of the same thing, but instead of I have unintentionally been racist towards my partner, how about, oh no wait, actually never mind, you already answered this.
Oh.
I was going to ask the question, my partner has done this racist thing to me, but you just said I've never done it. So never mind actually, let's just move on.
Moving on, next
question. Number 2. Sex gets steamy since you are interracial. So agree, disagree. 3, 2, 1, and step. Hey!
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Who are you apologizing to?
I don't know, to people that are going to come for me and say you were, I don't know. But personally, I just think there's an added oomph when it's, you know, so that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I don't, so, well, we're gonna get into other questions regarding fetishization and those kinds of things, but not even just like a black-white thing. I just think I think everything's more fun when people are from different cultures and look different. That's just like my general life philosophy. It's way more fun when people are different, personally.
It's just interesting because I feel like some things you say on the internet when it comes to this kind of topic, people can really twist it and take it, you know, to be something.
The internet has never done that to us. Never.
Are we still in the frame? Because I can't see.
Yeah, we're still in the frame. We're still in the frame.
Yeah, but I just think it's more interesting. It's more intriguing because this is like a situation or a sexual situation you've never been in before. It's like trying new sexual styles, right? Because it's the first time and you keep on doing it. You love it. It's fun. I would say it's the same thing, right? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say before the people of the interwebs come for me.
I think it's not that deep. It's not like let's be clear. Like we're not doing freaky race play stuff in the bedroom. There's all kinds of.
Said it, though, some people are gonna be like, you're saying
they don't do. We don't do freaky race play stuff. All right, we don't have like those. No, I'm uncomfortable with that stuff. It's just it's fun when people are different and they come from different places. And okay, let's step back in the middle.
Back to neutral ground.
Oh, okay. Now on that topic, like I said, number 3, interracial relationships can be a fetish, and that's okay if it's love too. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna take the tiniest step this way.
I would say I disagree because I feel like if you. I don't know, I think there's a thin line between fetish and love, right? I feel like fetish is like, it's an obsession, but not a good obsession. Like for example, I obsess over food I'm gonna eat. Like I plan my food ahead. By what I'm gonna eat today, Saturday, I already knew it on Wednesday, right?
That's true.
That's how obsessed I am with planning my food, but in a healthy way, if that makes sense. But I feel like when it comes to like race and interracial couples and interracial babies and stuff like that, there's a thin line between it's cute and oh yes, with all the bones and the heart in my body, I want this. Like you would go like any extent together. And I feel like when it's at that point, there's no love because you would literally just jump into bed with anybody that is of different race from you because that's something you want to do, right? So yeah, I disagree.
I agree like 1%. And the best way to say it is this. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. But I'm not going to tell people like, look, man, if your freaky relationship with like your interracial partner is fetishization, but it works for you guys and it's healthy, just don't talk to me about it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Okay, you're saying it's like in a general perspective. Now I'm gonna ask you personally between you and I.
Right. Well, and the internet.
How would you answer that question if you?
What do you mean?
If you use our relationship, for example, like fetishization. That word is so hard to pronounce.
Fetishization.
Whatever, you know what we're talking about. Fetish, and it's okay, but it can still be love. When it comes to us, do you think because you move that way, do you think that is?
No, I'm not saying like fetishization is just like great and okay. What I'm saying is, who am I to tell another relationship what works for them? I don't think I fetishize you, and I don't think you fetishize me.
Yeah.
But although we'll get into that, I think early on I was guilty of it in some small ways. I think maybe you were too, early on, because again, like you said, it was a new thing.
Yeah.
But when I'm saying over here, all I mean is like, if you see a couple and it's like a black dude and a white girl, or like a Chinese girl and a black guy, and everyone else in the room is kind of like, man, their relationship seems like mildly problematic. They kind of fetishize each other. But they look happy and it works. Like I'm like, don't involve me. I don't want to know. That's all what I mean.
I get that.
I don't like it, but it's not my place to be like. I don't like when people outside of a relationship criticize relationships they're not in. Like you can see problematic stuff and like, but you don't have all the,
Details.
And I'm just like, don't involve me.
I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, don't.
I mostly agree with you, and like that. The only reason I step this way is for that reason. That I'm just like, it's not my place to criticize other people's relationships.
Okay.
That's all.
Got it.
Okay, let's step back in the middle. All right, number 4. I have always wanted mixed babies. 3, 2, 1, go. This one's pretty simple, I think.
Yeah.
I have never really like thought about having kids. For me, kids were always like if it happens, it happens. And on top of that, I don't understand the obsession with other people's children. I just like again, like Esiri and I, if we have kids, great. But like it's like for me, I've never understood people that are like, oh my god, your babies are gonna be so cute. I just like my brain, I don't think about those kinds of things. So I really couldn't care less.
Okay.
I really couldn't care.
So for my answer, I'm gonna be 100% honest, as I've always been. I grew up in Nigeria, lived my life in Nigeria, and never once thought that the person I would end up with would be a white person, right? So never in my mind did I think or did I say I want a mixed race baby, because I know that like the environment I grew up in, it's 100% or 99.9% chance is not in the cards for me, right? But I'm someone who loves kids. Carson knows I'm one of those people that I'm like, oh my god, your kids are gonna be so cute. When I just see a couple, I don't care if you're black or white, whatever, I just look at a couple and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna make cute kids. I'm one of those people. So I have to say, when I started dating you and we started getting serious, and I knew that I potentially in the future, if it's in the cards for us, which it's in by God's grace, we're gonna have kids. I'm not gonna lie, I think about our future kids and I'm like, oh, our kids are gonna be so pretty.
Get over there.
No! I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna have interracial kids. So I don't think personally that's why I think our kids are gonna be so pretty, because if I did end up with any other person, I would think my kid is pretty. I don't care who I end up with, right? I would always have thought that. So
right. Well, and the question was, I've always wanted.
Yeah, no, so. I've never always wanted interracial kids. It's never. I just wanted kids. I don't care who I had the kids with, as long as I love the person. So.
All right, the next one's spicy. Let's go back to the middle.
Okay.
This one's real spicy. Number 5. I sometimes feel like I have betrayed my own race.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Who wants to go first?
Me.
Okay, you go.
Yes. So not in a bad way though. Most people, like obviously, if a black person feels like they've betrayed their own race, I know that's like an issue that comes up in the Jubilee video. A lot of black men get a lot of flack when they date outside of their race, especially in America, and it's understandable why, like apparently, according to the Jubilee video, if you haven't seen it, apparently a lot of older black people have a prejudice about this. But I think it's pretty understandable. You come from a society where like white people have been dominant and oppressive for hundreds of years and generations.
Yeah.
To see your black child date a white person probably has some issues there, right? And I get that. For me, I feel like I've betrayed my race, but in a good way. Like whiteness is a social construct. There's no such thing as like white people, by the way. Like are Greek people white people? We don't know. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Are Spanish people, like white passing is a thing. Like whiteness is invented specifically.
Oh my god, this AC has been on the whole time.
Oh really?
This video is gonna be so noisy. We apologize because our AC is so noisy. I just turned it off.
It's
so
fine.
Let's continue.
So when I see like angry white people online that mention like I'm dating a black or I'm married to a black woman, or I see like Nazis and shit, I love the fact that I'm gonna betray my race and have mixed race kids. If I can trigger a Nazi with my relationship, that's just mwah. So I sometimes feel like I betray my own race, but it's not in a bad way. I don't sit at home like, oh no, the white people are mad. I'm like, ha, the white people are mad. Get mad. So
are you using me to get mad at white people?
You caught me. That's the only reason. It's my 10-year-long game. We're gonna get divorced in 5 years. Yeah. Stop
speaking negative into the universe. We're not. Okay, so for me personally, no, I don't feel like, because I've always. First of all, again, going back to Nigeria, like this race thing, it's really not very huge. It's not a huge thing in Nigeria, and I understand why it is in America with all the like the racial history and stuff like that and white supremacy. So I would understand why. So Personally, I don't, because I'm African and nobody actually cares where I'm from. People care more about marrying another tribe where I'm from than marrying somebody from another race. A Yoruba marrying an Igbo person, or an Igbo person marrying from this side. That's what people care about. Where I'm from, nobody cares. Nobody cares about if you're marrying a green or a white man, right? So I personally haven't felt that way, but of course, being on the internet and living abroad and widening my intellectual horizons, whatever you want to call it. So fancy. You know, like, you find out these things and we get comments like race traitor, some people call bed wench, those kind of, I didn't know what bed wench meant.
Bed wench?
On bed wencher or bed wenching, something like that, until I came onto YouTube and somebody put it in my comments and I had to Google what it meant.
Damn.
I think it's apparently the slaves that used to sleep with the white master or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so
big mad.
Yeah, so yeah, I get it on the internet, but honestly, we laugh about those comments because those comments mean nothing to me. So yeah, I know some people are gonna be mad at me saying I don't feel like I betrayed my race, but I honestly don't feel like I betrayed my race. So
all right, back
there
to
we
the
have
middle.
it.
Back to the middle. Okay, we got.
How many more questions?
3 more.
Okay.
Being linked to another race has its benefits. Now, they don't specify benefits, they just say benefits. 3, 2, 1, go. You want to start?
I mean, we live in a world where there's a racial hierarchy and you're at the top of the hierarchy and I'm at the bottom of the hierarchy, right? And just like, I'm going to use Love Island as a reference. If you watch Love Island, you would know that in this past UK season, there was one black couple and they were like the 4th place couple. But every other couple that had like one black and one white as a couple, people kind of like them more. So I'm saying, like,
because they're still viewed as like a white.
Yeah. So as an interracial, it's not that it's good. It's nothing. What's the word I'm looking for? Like,
it doesn't have to be black and white though.
Yeah, it can be literally anything, but we're talking about ourselves and our relationship. We're black and white, right? So being associated with Carson, kind of, it's beneficial socially in a way, because we've seen videos of, or we've heard stories about how, like, you know, say a couple wants to buy a house, an interracial couple, and let's say the first time they go view the house is only the black partner that goes. The realtor is like kind of weird towards them, but the next time they come with their white partner, the body language changes, and it's just like, okay, so because I'm in arm with a white person. Yeah. So it's sad, but it's the reality of the world we live in, and it's the reality of our relationship. Is that something like in a utopian world that I would want? And no, everybody should be treated equally. It shouldn't matter who you are in bed with or whatever, but it is what it is in our society. And yeah, I would say personally, I haven't gotten any advantages yet, I think, but I know it's there. I know it happens. That's why I stepped to this side. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, like, for a black person, I don't really know how you could argue it. Like, if you have a white friend and the police show up and your white friend talks to the cops, it's just gonna go down different than if it was all black people talking. That's just the shitty, like, the shittiness of the situation. For me, I step this way, like, on your behalf, but also, like, just for me, like, yeah, being with another race has benefits. Of course, like, the foods you get to try, the languages you get to experience, the culture, the differences, and of course, interracial dating, whether you're black or white, or Asian and black, or white and Asian, or Asian multiple, like, it doesn't matter what it is. It broadens your horizons, like you already said. So, of course, being with somebody who's comes from a very different background has benefits. Not always like economically or socially, but just like in your own perspectives, absolutely. So, yeah, okay. And we're back. We just had to, what's the word? Download the footage? I don't know.
Transfer the footage.
Transfer the footage. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so we did being linked to another race has its benefits.
Yeah, that was what we did.
Yep. We got 2 more to do.
Okay.
So number 7, hang on. We took like a 5-minute break to transfer the footage. This way's agree, right?
Agree, disagree.
Right, okay. See, I knew I was going to make that mistake. Okay, number 7. I feel, let's add sometimes to this. I sometimes feel like an outsider in my partner's family. 3, 2, 1, Okay. I took the tiniest little step again. Want to go first?
Your family, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brothers. No, but if you said like the extended family, then I would move that way. But your immediate family, not at all. Your family is the most welcoming people, especially your parents. Oh my God.
Good job, family.
Because I went to Canada alone in January without Carson, and I told them I was actually nervous to go alone because that would be the first time I was spending time alone with my in-laws without Carson being there. Carson has just always been the middleman, so it's easier, right? So I was very nervous. I thought it was gonna be awkward, like, oh my God, what are we gonna talk about, what we're gonna do, but it was a smooth like butter. Yeah, so I didn't feel awkward at all. I didn't feel left out. I didn't feel out of place. But I'm curious to hear about yours. So why do you feel out of place?
Most of the time, I mean, obviously, I haven't spent tons of time with your family, unfortunately. That's because of COVID and other, like, just work and stuff.
Yeah.
We will rectify that. And hopefully we'll have videos of that, maybe early next year. That's what we're hoping, yeah. But I would say, well, there's like a harmless way I feel like an outsider. Look, just aesthetically, Esiri, you're a pretty dark-skinned woman. Your whole family's pretty dark-skinned, right?
Yeah.
There's photos of us together. I'm just gonna stand up, right? Like, not in a bad way. Just from like, if you look at a picture of the Imagitoja family and there's like 10 of you, and then there's me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a like stand out, literally like, whoa, like there's like this really white dude, like, right? It's just, but that's like innocent stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, there are some cultural things that I struggle with.
Okay.
Bride price being the big one.
Is that why you feel like an outsider?
Yes, because in the same way that I think, you know, imagine if my parents had some like pretty weird prejudice against black people. How that would make you feel. Now, it's not on the same level.
It's not the same skill though.
No, I'm not.
I'm not a prejudice.
I'm not comparing the two necessarily, but what I'm saying is, if you're put into a situation where you're just like, whoa, I like totally disagree with that, it can make you feel like an outsider. And it's not a huge criticism, it's just a cultural difference that I am struggling to understand where they are coming from, because it's not, that's one of the difficulties of like being somebody who, my politics is very important to me. I wouldn't be with somebody who was politically on the other side of the spectrum. I'm not one of those like, I'm a Trump supporter and she's a Democrat and we're besties, and like I couldn't do that. Like, no, that's not okay to me. So so when people have views that conflict with mine even a little bit, it's hard to sometimes wrap my head around that, because part of it has to be me going, okay, it's not my place to tell your culture or your people or your tribe or your country or whatever what to do. That's not my place. But at the same time, where I come from, no matter how you frame this issue, it's weird at best. It's weird at best and like a problem at worst. So little things like that can be an issue. But I don't feel like an outsider in like an way, not like that. But it's just very clear, like in those situations, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. We don't see eye to eye.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because I would disagree, but because again it's my culture and it's something that I'm born. You know, sometimes when you're born into something, you don't look at it with an outside eye.
Yes.
And even though sometimes I look at like the bride price issue from an outside eye, I don't see it as a problem. I see it as like appreciating the parents. That's how I like to say. But anyways, let me ask you this, like, in my family as a whole, say we go home and you're sitting down, because you've met my parents, you've met some of my brothers and some of my sisters, right? So let's say we go home next year, for example, and you're in like my house, we're sitting in the family, we're having food, whatever. Would you feel like an outsider?
I would be comfortable, but yeah, I would still feel a little like an outsider. But I don't mean it, again, I want to reiterate, I don't mean it an outsider, because it depends what you mean by outsider, right?
Like, would you feel like out of place, generally?
No,
like,
no.
Would you feel like you don't belong with this people? That's what I'm trying to get.
No, I would be very comfortable with your family, but I would be aware that, like, hey, I stand out in this situation.
Yeah, I feel that too, not with your parents, but when...
Yeah.
First time when I went to Canada, well, that was for like your parents' anniversary.
Yeah.
And no, the first time I went to Canada, to Carson's home, it was like Carson's parents' anniversary, so the whole family were there. So I just wasn't meeting your parents or your siblings. I was meeting your aunties, your uncles. So Yeah, I did feel like, oh my god, because I was literally the only black person.
Yeah.
I was literally the only black person in that whole thing. So obviously, I was very conscious of the fact that you were vastly different from these people. But besides like the racial difference, the skin tone difference, I completely, with your parents and your immediate family, I completely felt like one amongst one of them. But obviously with some of your relatives, it was a little bit different because they were touching my hair. It was a bit weird.
That was, we have a video
it was a
on
bit
that
weird,
one.
so yeah. And yeah. But anyways, did we answer that question?
Yes, I think we did.
Okay, let's go back to neutral ground for the last one, right?
The last and final question is, I wish we were the same race. They don't specify why.
Okay.
They just say, I wish we were the same race. 3, 2, 1, go. Wait, oh, I almost stepped the wrong way. See, I knew I was going to do it.
Why would I want that? If Carson was a black guy, some things about him would be different, right? If they say, wish you were the same race, but then you have all your attributes and whatever, I could stay in the middle and be like, if I'm getting Carson but just in a different race, then I don't care, because I'm still getting you, I'm still getting everything that makes you you. You're just like a different colored person. Then I would say slightly, not like it really matters, but I could be like, okay, that would be okay. But say Carson in a different race but he's a totally different person, then absolutely not. Like, I'm happy with your whiteness.
Well, that makes one of us.
No, I'm absolutely happy with who you are, the skin you're born in, everything about you. I accept it, I love it, and it makes us who we are. I wouldn't want to change that for anything.
No. Have you seen this black beauty, you two? Have you seen her? I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. And no, but like on a serious note, I said it in the beginning, and again, this is that fine line between, like, you know, you gotta make sure you're not fetishizing that word. Where, you know
you know the word?
Fetishizing. Pushing your partner. I've always, well, not when I started dating, but the minute I started experiencing more other, like, cultures that were a little different than mine, the minute I spent more time with Asian people, the minute I spent more time with, like, people from the Indian subcontinent or the Middle East or Africa or whatever, I became more interested in cultures that are not my own. And I just think it adds, you know, literally more spice to your life in food ways, but also like literally just like I really prefer being the only white person in the room.
He's on Mark. Have you guys seen that TikTok? Y'all African Americans.
Plus Mark.
Carson is the Mark of our group.
We actually, one of our friends made a TikTok of it. We should just post it in the video.
Maybe we can just post it right here.
Yeah.
You are freaking African Americans plus Mark. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm rocking with Mark because Mark is rocking with it.
Okay, there you have it.
She made that because and now they all call me Mark all the time.
Yeah, he's the Mark of our group, and he's like, he fits perfectly. He just integrates himself, like he sips in. Like, honestly, the only time you would ever notice is when you look at him like, oh, that's a white person talking. Because if you are outside and you're listening, you wouldn't even think that. Yeah, so.
Wow. I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
He's a Mark. He's the Mark of my group.
All right, I'll take it, I guess. I mean, there's worse things.
But I feel like it'll be different for me though if I hang out with your friends, because I've never hanged out with your friends before. I mean, no, I have hanged out with your friends. Let me say in 2015.
Yeah, but that's a whole other. Maybe we'll make a video.
Yeah, we'll make a video about that.
Because I was just gonna add at the end.
Yeah.
What I find interesting about when we talk about like, oh, I wish I was another race or whatever. Something that I think, if I remember correctly, because I watched the Jubilee video the other day.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't in the video. Maybe it was in the comments. But somebody mentioned a weird thing for white people that date outside their race that happens, and I've totally noticed this. And my friend and I were talking about it last night at coffee. She's also a white woman, and we've noticed the minute your circle expands outside of like a white circle, like my circle of friends and loved ones and stuff is almost entirely like non-white at this point. It really is. Like most of my friends in Korea are Korean or black, right? Like I've got lots of black friends or whatever. I started to understand and openly myself notice when like black people describe a space as too white. Like, you know, people are like, oh man, that's a really, like, I went to the party and like, man, it was just too white for me. I I'm not saying I understand totally, but I've been in situations where I've walked in a room and I'm like, okay, this is like really white. There's just a lot of like suburban
so
white.
So much whiteness going on.
Yeah, and it's like off-putting now because it feels like it's lacking a lot of the things that are interesting about other cultures that aren't white. So again, to bring it back to the question, yeah, I would not want to be the same race as you.
Yeah.
Maybe that question would be different if we were both American, because obviously like racial issues in America, they're deep, right? They're very deep.
Yeah.
And just being like a Canadian and an African or a Nigerian is a little different than like a white American dating a black American. I get that. And I don't want to speak for black Americans on that, right? So that question might be different if we were for that, but we're not. So in that case, anyways, I think we've exhausted.
Yeah, there you have it, guys. Well, I know this video is going to be over 20 minutes long, so we apologize. I try my best to keep our videos.
Why are you apologizing?
Because
you get more content. You should thank us.
The human's attention span is shorter than a goldfish. That's what I read.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I doing
so,
I
hope you guys enjoyed this video anyways if it was long. This was actually really fun to film.
Awesome.
I like the questions. They were very deep, but not so deep.
Step this way for 1 minute.
Yeah?
Guys, like and comment for my fern.
Okay.
It's my favorite plant. I love this plant. Esiri mentioned in another video that I love ferns. This is Fernie. Say hello to Fernie. Like and comment for Fernie, please.
And pray for Fernie that he doesn't die.
Yes, please. Hashtag pray for Fernie. We'll make it, that's viral. It's going viral.
Anyways, guys, we're blabbing now.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section. If there were any questions that we talked about that you want to, for your opinion, 1 or 2 in there. Please, let's be respectful to everybody's opinions in the comments. If you decide to come for us and leave annoying comments, we'll use your comment to laugh and talk during bedtime and just say how this person is kind of stupid for leaving that kind of comments. I'm just gonna say it out there because that's what we do anyways. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time and you enjoyed this video, subscribe, check out other contents. We make lit content on here, and we're at 5K, so we're YouTubers now, okay?
We're real YouTubers.
We're real YouTubers, so subscribe to us. Alright, okay, thank you so much. We'll see you now next
See you
one.
guys, bye.
Bye.